Oh, did I lock it?
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Anime-Zing Radio Live, day 3 from Animaine. We're only going to be here for about an hour and a half today because we have a long drive home. And we've got a show tonight. The vendors hall has literally just opened up as we went live. So we're expecting to see some more attendees coming through today. Maybe talking with the idol group that's here.
Should be much safer now. Do you know how to administer that?
Just point to where you want it. Yes. Usually it's on the side.
Yeah, I should be able to do it myself, but
If you're down.
yeah. Oh no.
I will put
So
it
fun fact, I am actually allergic to the very things I keep in my backyard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite as deadly.
Hello, Levi. How are you this morning? Hopefully you're having a good weekend. We are here live from Animaine. This is day 3. This is our first con. That's been a 3-day con that we've tabled at. And it's been a fun time. Had some great conversation with a lot of the attendees. A lot of good cosplay up here. It's the first time back for Animaine in 3 years. And it's technically their 10-year anniversary show. So we are excited to be back to Maine. Had, thanks to Facebook Memories, got the memory of 6 years ago we were here. We've been coming here for many years. 8 years ago today, we were heading to Boston. Or not Boston, Bakuretsucon. So this seems to be a common con weekend for me, for traveling. But you see a lot of people who are just coming in. Some of the artists are still waking up.
Telling them about the time I scared you into almost calling well, the aftermath of it. But Tim wasn't there for the shower part.
I hear you made fun of it.
After.
I've been up since 7. I didn't set my alarm today. Just kind of woke up about 7 o'clock because that's what my body does now. And we weren't able to get into the room for setup till about a little after 9. So I kind of hung around the hotel room a little bit, watched episode of anime while getting ready, and then had to make my stop, get my coffee this morning, and then being a railroad fanatic, was able to find a train yard that's just down the street, really. So stopped off there, got a few pictures of some of the motive power, and then back here to Animaine. A cute kitty maid. She's one of the artists that's here. You're just joining us for the first time this weekend. I have made some purchases. I did buy a figure. I found some Kuma Bear merchandise, which I didn't think I would find. Cute little keychains, gachapon stuff, which I will hold up in front of the camera. So I got this and a couple other cute little Kuma Bear stuff, courtesy of Weekend Anime and Games, where I've made most of my purchases this weekend. If you're up in the New England area, you come up to Maine, go check them out. They're not far from where Animaine's located. They're in Westbrook, Maine, 492 Main Street. You can find them at www.weekendanime.com. They have a lot of cool stuff that's here, and they told me it was just a small snippet of what they have at the store. So definitely check them out. The figure that I got was Kanen Shibuya from Love Live Superstar. I also was playing around a little bit today, or a little bit this morning, and was able to upload some new sound bites. They're old from our early days of AZR, but
This is Happy the Cat, and you're listening to Anime-Zing Radio on the.
so let me know, Levi, if you heard that. I was able to get some show ID stuff. I need to edit them. Like I said, they're from our early days with Hazy Radio, so like 8 years ago. And I'm sure you're not the only one who's still waking up. A lot of the attendees are just waking up. A lot of the vendors are still, getting things set up and ready for the day. Awesome. It was the first time I've really played with adding sound clips, so I wasn't sure if it was working or not. And knowing that I can get the sound clips up, I might be able to get some show IDs from voice actors again. So that kind of makes me excited. Could I miss playing those show IDs?
The number just go out that way. Right back to registration.
All people.
I feel free to part of the stock and put it on top of the stuff.
Kind of sad that it's day 3, that Animaine is ending. It's like you get all hyped up for weeks leading up to these cons, and then it's over in the blink of an eye. I gotta figure out where I want to put this Yuna keychain, because this is absolutely adorable. I don't want to keep it on my keyring because it would fall off and I would lose it. But just finding Kuma Bear merch, I know it came from came out of one of the Gachapon boxes that they have, but man, the fact that they had it, that show gets no love. Actually, the show that gets no love that's getting a season 2 is Ancient Magus' Bride. You cannot find any merch for that anywhere. Some of the other IDs that I have.
Hello, this is Sebastian Michaelis, and you're listening to Anime-Zing Radio on the Hazy Radio Network.
Oh, that's why it's not playing out the speakers in front. It helps when you plug in the speakers. That's not what I wanted. I want this.
Hey gang, this is Natsu Dragneon. You're listening to Anime-Zing Radio on the Hazy Network.
So I've got some IDs that I can play again. I need to edit those to get the Hazy part out of there, but the fact that they work makes me happy. And I can honestly say, for a small convention, Animaine actually is a really good con. It's a good like comfortable feeling convention. It feels like being back with your family again. Seen a lot of new faces, a lot of first timers that have been coming to Animaine this year, so it's great to see the new people. A lot of friendly faces that we've seen in the past, which is always exciting.
That's the receipt.
So we're not going to have our typical 3-hour stream like we normally do. It's going to be a shorter one, like I said, because we are only here until about noon. About at 12 o'clock, we're going to end the live stream, start packing up, and then get ready to head home, because it's about a 5-hour drive. And we got a live show tonight at 8. We're going to be joined by the voice actress of Amber from Genshin Impact. Kelly Baskin's going to be joining us. Good morning, John. Thank you so much for tuning in all weekend along with us. We've been having a lot of fun here up in Maine. And like I said many times, it's so great to be back up here.
Well, if you're making a decision, then it's
You get to hear some really fun conversations between people we have all weekend. We've had some great chats with some of the attendees. One awesome. Today is Juvia from Fairy Tale's birthday. Happy birthday to all the Juvias out there. All the cosplayers of Juvia. I don't know if you heard, but we have uploaded some of the old show IDs from way back when, and one of them includes Natsu. And we played that ID just a little bit ago. Got this one.
This is Coterie Eatset, and you're listening to Anime-Zing Radio on Hazy Radio Network.
So I am going to be playing with those a little bit throughout the show. Throughout the live stream here, and probably tonight a little bit, I might play them as well. Even though it's not Hazy Radio anymore, but knowing that I was able to find those on an old memory card and upload those. Save them on a memory card I got from Anime Boston 2015 to give you an idea how old those are. Boss fight?
Good luck. Sell it all.
Oh, yes, thank you.
What do you mean by boss fight, Levi?
So, anything else you want to look at? Like you want to
One more.
Hey, you don't have to know what's wrong with you. Want to do
That's actually music from Data Live. That was back when Data Live Season 1 had come out, and our booking producer who was able to record, or a producer that was able to record the sound bites, was able to add music to it as well. And we have a Genshin Impact cosplayer across the way. Yes, happy birthday to Christina Kelly. Her birthday is today. Talented voice actress in Call of the Night and Food Wars. Actually commented or complimented her performance and responding to one of her tweets. The unfortunate thing is I forget what person that is from Genshin. It's like I should know it, but I don't. Venti. Like I said, I know I should know that one. And it's been pretty interesting because the Weekend Anime and Games, they have a lot of totes. If you joined us yesterday, I did a quick walk around of all the vendors and artists, and you can see who's here on the live stream we did yesterday. But they have a huge catalog of gashapon and all the different items that they have, and I think they have about 150 totes that are all separated from each gashapon thing that they have from the store. So it's kind of neat that they're able to catalog everything, bring them here. And if we can turn the camera over a little bit, that the cosplayer that you see there is looking through the catalog, and the side that you see where it says Weekend Anime and Games, all those little plastic totes are all the gashapons that they have. And then back here on this shelf, there's even more totes. So they have a wide selection of gashapon stuff. They have a ton of stuff. They did not have any Ancient Magus' Bride, but if you are looking for something in particular, throw out a couple of shows, and I can take a look before I leave. They did have a couple of Genshin Impact boxes. I know they have some My Hero stuff. They have a lot of stuff. Like I said, there's like 150 plus pages in that to look through for specific characters and stuff. So if you're looking for a specific character, let me know, Casey, and I'll see what they have. I think they had some Demon Slayer. Who from Demon Slayer you're looking for? It's also one of those when they're gone type deals. Good morning, Venti. I will look later to see if they have any Daki or Tengen. I'm not sure what they look like, but I can ask. Because I don't watch Demon Slayer.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah, so we all together.
Genshin is getting an anime adaptation, and it makes me curious. I've only played about an hour and a half of it. I'm kind of waiting for it to come out in the Switch so I can play it a lot more because it takes up a lot of space on the computers, and my computer's not the greatest. And the laptop we use for a lot of video editing and stuff, so don't really play it. Have it to take up the space on the laptop. So once it comes out for the Switch, which I play a lot more, I will probably try playing it more. But I'm not going to get sucked in to the gacha stuff. I'm not going to get sucked into buying for all the skins and all the special characters. I know, A, I don't have the money. B, I've never been one to just dump a bunch of money onto video games after you buy it. A lot of times I don't even get the add-ons afterwards.
I just wait. You might have something. Ooh, look at that. Did you cash only for you, hon? No, I can do card. Okay.
You can, but like I said, it takes up so much space on the phone. I don't have enough space to play it because I've got an older phone. I've got like a Galaxy S9, so it's like antique now, so it can't handle all these big games. But I am curious. I will probably watch the anime adaptation just to see how it is. I'm also curious to see what they do for the voice acting side of things. Will they bring? I know everybody really wants them to bring on all of the actual voice actors from the Genshin cast. But what characters are they going to introduce? I know there's a ton of characters. A lot of great voice actors who have been a part of Genshin thus far. And curious to see who exactly they bring back, who they will incorporate in there. Will it be much like the gameplay, or will it be a complete separate entity from the game itself? But we have been having a lot of fun here, like I said, at Animaine. Unfortunately, when you vend, you're not able to attend a lot of panels. And when you vend cons, it takes a lot out of you. It may not seem like it for when you think of people just kind of hanging out behind the tables and interacting and stuff. But between setup, takedown, and then a lot of the social interaction, it can take a lot out of you. So I really have, outside of the panel I did, I have not, and opening ceremonies, I haven't attended a panel this weekend, unfortunately, just because I've been exhausted. Once the vendors hall closes, it's like pack up some of the important stuff, bring it with me to the hotel, and get food, and then kind of crash out a little bit, watch some stuff on the phone, and then go to bed. I have not seen much in the way of Chainsaw Man merch here yet. And I'm guessing Pachita is like that little dog chainsaw thing. I've not seen Chainsaw Man. Those who know me say that it's probably not my wheelhouse.
It looks like 4 right there, but it should say.
Yeah, I'm not a big gore person. I prefer more of the lighthearted, fun animes as opposed to psychological thrillers or horror, or which is why people usually are surprised when I say I like Overlord. But Overlord's just a classic. Plus, I'm isekai trash, and it's a good isekai. And actually, another good isekai, Saga of Tanya the Evil, is actually a really good show too. Which you wouldn't think that would be in my wheelhouse either. Konosuba and ReZero, you would expect, but if we're going through the isekai quartet show.
It feels like it's only one, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
It feels like one, honestly. Yeah, I think it's one.
Okay.
What it takes.
Well, part of the reason I never finished Overlord Season 3 is because I don't have a ton of time. I'm old enough to be considered a classic. Not really. Well, because you have bad taste in anime. My Hero overrated. Demon Slayer overrated. Making enemies already. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning. Reincarnated as a Sword has actually been quite a fun show to watch. And it's one of those shows where, like, the main character being reincarnated as a sword is meh, but the little girl character who actually wields the sword is absolutely adorable. And she kind of makes the show fun. And like, I'm more interested in the growth of, the cat girl character than I am in what the sword's doing. The sword's kind of meh to me in that one, which might be why I like it, because yes, the sword's got special abilities and but you're watching the growth of a weak cat girl who was a slave who's trying to become something that's almost impossible, and just seeing the grit and the fight in her is just awesome. I really, really hope it gets an English dub. You never know which shows are going to get dubbed and which ones aren't nowadays.
What I have been doing is taking some time.
Because I really want to see Sentai dub Shinepost too, because I'm curious to see who they would cast for those roles. To be honest, I didn't give that one enough of a try. I've only watched one episode. Unfortunately, due to the work schedule and stuff. Maybe next weekend, where I have more time, I will sit down and try to catch up or watch some more of the shows that I'm behind on. Goblet's Reincarnation, I haven't even started. Hello, how are you? One of the talented artists here.
Yeah, so that thing that I wanted wired
I thought the same thing, but and I have bases too.
if it had like 2 or 3,
You would have rolled the chance.
yeah, because I mean,
I'll take the gotcha roll on
because then I have a higher chance of being one of the 2. Because like I don't dislike it.
and if it's more than one.
So we are here at Animaine. It is day 3. The vendors hall has just opened up. People are still waking up. Usually Sunday is kind of a slower day. People are at this time of day are still like packing up hotel rooms and loading stuff into the car before they come to the con. So hoping before 12 things will pick up a bit, and we're supposed to be talking with the idol group that's here about potentially being a guest on the show in the future. Have a good day, Levi. If you're able to come by tonight when we have our live show from 8 to 10, we have Genshin Impact voice actress Kelly Baskin joining us. So it's going to be a fun show tonight. Great to see Levi coming into the chat, and everybody who's been coming into the chat all weekend. We thank you so much for all the great interaction, and we've been having lots of fun chatting with you guys out there. Of course, we've had a lot of fun interactions with the guests, or not the guests, the attendees and artists and the vendors around us. And like I said, it's fun to see some familiar faces. So I will take a look before I actually take off for the day from here, to see if they have any of that stuff. Oh my god, I love this hat that this person is wearing. It's a kitsune hat. I don't know if they made that or bought that, but I'm... Oh, it's the wonderful family that we chatted with yesterday during their panel with talking about podcasting. So we've been having a lot of fun here, like I said. We are up here at Animaine.
Hello, this is Sebastian Michaelis, and you're listening to Anime-Zing Radio on the Hazy Radio Network.
Having a good day?
Well, no, I know the
Morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Good. Are you running now?
Yeah, we are live until about noon.
Oh dear.
You are just out of camera.
Good. No, I'm kidding. Hi, folks. So yeah, we've had fun. We've been telling everyone it's been great.
Yeah.
Like the intimacy, actually. Like
That's,
being able to talk to you like we did
yes.
at Anime Boston. Let's say you got 150, 200 people in one room,
Yep.
and it's line up and go to the microphone and ask your question. Whereas here it's a little bit easier
Oh,
to
yeah.
talk to like yourself and the
Yep.
other panelists and stuff. So that's what I would say if anyone's interested in anime.
That's
I like the smallness. And,
that's the beauty of the smaller cons. Personally, I prefer the small to medium-sized cons.
right.
Animaine, AAC, Bakuretsu Con when they have that one
Yeah.
up in Colchester, Vermont. Now they're big enough cons where they typically bring in a couple of decent name voice actors.
Right.
Typically when they, I mean, this is first year back for Animaine.
Right, for everybody, really.
So a lot of, trying to get the feet wet again, get back into the swing of things. So next year they'll probably be able to bring in a voice actor or two.
I mean, we're coming next year. We just enjoyed it this year. So.
But you get the like you were saying, you get the intimacy of a small con where all weekend long you see the same people all weekend. You're kind of forced to interact with people that you normally wouldn't be able to.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the vendors, artists, attendees, staffers, and you start developing a friendship. And there's a camaraderie amongst, like, my wife being an artist. We have like an artist family. We go to cons and we get excited about seeing certain artists when we go to these cons that we may not have seen in months or even years now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I feel the same way. I mean, everybody here, and I just intimacy is what everyone kept saying. Go to Animaine because it's small and it's intimate, and you can spend time with people.
Oh yeah.
Without racing around, going up 3 flights of stairs or down long hallways. And
I've always said, Anime Boston is a fun experience, but it's more of a con to go to if you are looking for autographs or specific merchandise, because you're going to have a wide selection of artists and vendors at the larger cons. If you want to get a chance to get to know people, go to the small to mid-sized cons.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely.
That's where you're going to develop stronger friendships.
Yeah.
Meet, because a lot of the friends that I have made from conventions have come from AAC, Baku, from here. Anime Boston, I've got so many friends that we go looking for, and unless you organize a time and specific place, and most of the time it has to be outside of the convention hall,
right,
you're never going to see them.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, here we've had good luck, but here it's been great. Where everybody we see somebody at a different restaurant that we saw here, and we're like, hey, and then we sit and eat together.
Yeah.
I would have never done that at Anime Boston for the most part. Stop. Those are your friends.
Well,
they're not my friends. They're your friends.
Well, Anime Boston this year, we have a friend who was a table helper. We went by the table 4 times, Anime Boston. All 4 times she was away from the table. So we never saw her at Anime Boston and didn't see her until we went to Kineticon and happened to catch her at the table.
Yeah.
So that's what it's like. The bigger cons, people are coming and going, and like they're at this table, but what time are they going to be there? They help for a few hours, have to go change costumes, get into cosplay, might have a photo shoot. There's so much going on at the larger scale cons, and people are running everywhere.
Yeah. No, it's been great. It's really good, and that's why we're planning on coming back.
I've been talking with the staff that we would love to continue a partnership with them to return as long as both are still going.
Now you've been here, Animaine, multiple times. Is it always here at this hotel? So it's always
Every
been
year
here?
every year I've attended, and I had a memory on Facebook from 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Off to Animaine.
Now, did they have? Were the restaurants existing back then?
Yes, pre-COVID,
They
that
were
restaurant
there.
was operational. I don't know if COVID killed it or exactly everything that was going on.
Right.
And
Like within the first few months of COVID,
It shut down. Yeah. So I mean, like I was trying to think. Okay, so where was? Because obviously Greg's here, so there's a dance party somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, was it still up in the canopy room, or you
Uh,
guys remember?
Oh, the dancing room, yeah.
Yeah, it was always up there.
As far as I know, it was always up there. I think once it was down there, but then it was.
And this room was always. You guys had the dealer's room and the artist alley in this area, or?
Not always. I think one of the first years that I came, it was actually across the way. They had vendors set up over there. Recent years, they had artists up here and vendors down here.
The past 3 animes have been in here, but then before that, I was like there 1 year. Then I gotta go in.
I like it. This,
Yeah.
This and the kind of the flow that they kind of do with their arrows.
Yeah.
Coming through here, so you're seeing yourself, seeing Artist Alley, seeing the vendors that are here, you know, which is all you got to take time out of where you are to come here to set up and hope for the best.
And it has a nice flow. The one thing that I know it's difficult, and I hope they bring back, that I've always loved, and one of my biggest attractions, because I always have money burning a hole in my pocket if I have it, is I love the charity auctions.
Oh yes, yeah.
Dude, unfortunately, with how times are changing, you know, pre-COVID, they would have like David Williams from Sentai Filmworks would be here. He would bring some pre-release DVDs for showing, and then they would go into charity auction.
Right.
They would have different charities that they would try to raise money for.
Yeah,
and
we would do that in Anime Boston. We just did because I just love charity, help people.
And
Better than me. You know,
quite a few times when they did the charity auction here, we donated a guest co-host spot for a voice actor interview.
Right. So then you did it this time, didn't you?
Or
was that a contest? I can't remember.
I was trying to run a contest. We've had 7 people sign up, subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
I only know one person who did. Nobody has been like, oh yeah, we subscribed. We've had 7 new subscribers from this weekend, and I only know one person. I'm like, if I only know one person who has actually said we signed up to your channel, I don't really want to run the contest knowing that there were 6 others who should be entered that I don't have information on. I don't want to make it unfair to be like, well, you won by default because you're the only one I know.
Yeah, it's sort of like when somebody's running for office, it's them and nobody else.
Yeah.
It's like,
So it's one of those things of, I wanted it to be fair. I wanted everybody to have a fair shot to join us. Honestly, I can understand where it's tonight. A lot of people might still be traveling.
You're right.
Some of them, I'm thinking, are kids who might be afraid of being on camera or being on a show. Might have the anxiety of, oh my God, I'm going to talk to a voice actor, which I can understand that because I get that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still, I've been doing this 8.5 years. There are times when I fan out over, like, oh my God, I'm going to have so-and-so on the show.
Right. No, yeah, I would feel the same way. I try to not, I always feel like if I'm talking to them, I'm bothering them. So I will leave them alone and let them have their outside life.
And then, like, what I just discovered this morning, how to upload some of the old sound bites. I found some of my old show IDs from like 8 years ago when I first started the show.
Yeah.
So you have things like,
hello, this is Ciel Phantom Hive, and you're listening to Anime-Zing Radio. I hope you like it.
yeah. So I found some of my early generation.
This is Happy the Cat, and you're listening to Anime-Zing Radio on the Hazy Radio Network.
So being able to find like these early ones, and like I said, these are probably 8 years old because I haven't been a part of Hazy Radio since 2016. I started on Blog Talk, and then I was Blog Talk up until August of last year, and where we didn't see the growth in that amount of time, that we were hoping for because people didn't want to subscribe to Blog Talk and a lot of stupidity and things there. We decided, you know what, let's try YouTube. And we've seen a lot better growth since coming to YouTube. And adding the video aspect has been a huge help for us because people are able to, when we do the shows, people can see, okay, you have a cosplayer on, they're in costume.
Right.
So now you're showing off the work that they've done. Artists, here, this is my artwork. You know, not just I do art, and people can't see what's going on. Now that they have visuals, they can be like, I like that. I want to see more of what they do. And then coming to the conventions, doing the live streaming with video, now the people can interact with our chat. And like all weekend long when we live stream, we've had people who have been in the chat room hearing the conversations and adding the monitor out there. You can see what the chat's saying. You can answer you can answer the questions, have a conversation with people from all over the world.
Right. Yeah, that was like I was thinking, like when you interview someone, even a cosplayer who made their own costume, they don't have to be next to you to do this. They're back at their house wherever they are. Camera on them.
That's
and you just stream that way.
Pretty much. And I know you were talking about looking into the D&D podcasting with StreamYard. If you look at the screen here, see the little invite button that the cursor's on?
Yes.
You click that, it gives you a link.
Yep.
You send that link to whoever you want to invite as a guest on the show. They click that, even on, like, my second window is my phone.
Right.
So the phone is the camera. Typically, I would have a camera that's plugged into the computer, but forgot that it was in a different bag. And it's not with me, so that's why we're using the phone with two setups. And but it's as simple as you just click, follow a couple of instructions. There's nothing to download, nothing to install. You just go to StreamYard. You can set up your own account. They've been very easy to work with.
Yeah.
With the brand, I have a bunch of different backgrounds that I've uploaded.
Oh, I see. So like I get you.
So like and we're gonna lose sound for a minute and video, but I wanted to show. Have multiple windows open, you can kind of see the background a little bit. And then if, like for this, I just click the solo layout.
Right.
So they can still hear me because the other window's open.
Right.
I love your hat.
It's homemade.
You made that. I was like, did that?
Well, not the hat, but
like the ears are glued on.
Because I saw it when you walked in. I'm like, I love that Kitsune hat. I have to find out if they made that or bought that.
She's an artist.
Yes.
That is
my
awesome.
first made thing. So.
Absolutely love it. I saw it when you walked in. I'm like, I love that hat.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
And then there's different logos. Like I can change the logo on the top up there. The little icon at the bottom, we can change how it looks. I just like the bubble. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with StreamYard.
Right.
And
I see.
Casey wants to see your hat.
Oh,
What about
She's right here. I just said.
Oh.
I'll get out.
Like I said, this hat was adorable. I saw it when you came in. I'm like, I need to find out because obviously I like hats with ears.
Yeah.
And I love kitsunes. And Casey is actually our artist who did our logo.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have this card. Yeah.
And she is addicted to foxes as well.
Yeah.
She's not an artist here.
No, she's not. She's not. She's
No.
not. Oh, well then.
She tried to apply for a table. I found out that she applied instead of as an artist as a vendor, and due to the lack of vendor space,
Right.
so next year make sure that you sign up as an artist, Casey, and not the vendor side of things, because there was a little miscommunication on that aspect. Which is, I think, one of the reasons that you didn't get in because they were expecting that you needed more room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year she'll be able, because she just got back into vending last month after about 3 years off. So she completely restocked everything.
You should see her art, her wolves, and
Mostly wolves.
do you have anything in your bag?
I have pictures I do.
Yeah, I found out about that this morning, that you whoopsied. You put in as a vendor and not an artist. I was talking with Tia, who is running the Artist Alley area.
I'm wearing a folder in here.
So when you're looking at this screen here, is it the top is the most recent? Oh, there's a time. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
The
time
bo- the bo-
stamp. Never mind.
Yeah, the bottom is the most recent for the chat, and having the monitor set up to whatever I have on the laptop, you can see out there. So it's a fun addition, and it's something like I was talking with some of the staffers here about. You never see
So I did like
podcasters
Halloween.
do this.
So that's like the Halloween wolves, Cerberus,
Oh, that's cool.
and then witch wolves and their cats.
Oh, sweet.
And then, like the starting process.
That's awesome.
And then
Do you have like an Instagram or
yeah,
anywhere?
I do. It's called Wolfkin.
Wolfkin?
Yeah.
So WOLFKIN?
Yep.
And that's what. So our viewers can follow you on Instagram at that.
Yes.
Wolfkin?
Yes. Says the mom.
So check out Wolfkin's stuff to see the artwork that they have posted up there.
And it's very Halloween because I love the teeth that I do for that stuff.
The teeth are really, really good on that.
Yeah.
I like the eyes. I like some of the accents that you have with that.
Yeah.
Pardon the coughing.
It's okay. Allergies me.
So
Yeah.
like if I'm not going to talk to Casey, but could someone like say, "Hey, hi, Casey," and then she could type back, "Oh, hi,"
Yes.
and have a conversation over your.
Yep.
Oh,
They
my
pick
goodness,
everything
really?
up right on the microphone.
Wow. That's
So-
wild to me.
That-
Everyone else probably thinks
that-
that's natural. We do it all the time.
Oh no, it's a lot of people. Like I said, this is something that you don't see at cons.
Yes, that's true.
I kind of got the idea because of a VTuber at Kineticon last year there were an artist, but they had a proxy seller. They were sick and couldn't actually go to Kineticon, so they had somebody else work the table for them, but they had a video camera set up and a TV monitor where you could walk up and see the monitor and you could see them in their little icon,
Right.
and they could talk back and forth with you
About their stuff.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, that's kind of a neat idea.
Oh, she just said, "Oh, hi." Hi, Casey. I can't see my mouth move because of the mask. So you and our daughter have sort of the similar ideas of liking foxes and wolves. So that's cool. Learn to share.
Hence the
John
foxy.
Mike just said hi.
Hello, John. John's been hanging out in the chat as well. He's been
I
a
saw.
little bit quiet. John joined us every day we have streamed.
Oh, that's
I'm kind of surprised Ross isn't in there, but he might either A, be working or B, be sleeping still.
Wish I was.
My body woke me up at 7 without an alarm this morning. I'm like, they won't have this room open till 9. I got 2 hours to kill. So it's okay. I found the Dunkies, so I got my coffee.
There you go.
I'm a railroad fanatic and happened to find a train yard down the street, so I got stopped there to get some photos.
You had said that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like trains. And all the trains. No, I like trains, but I haven't done trains in 25, 35, 40 years. I have Lionel O.
I've got HO scale. When my father passed, I inherited all his stuff, and I haven't done anything since he passed, like 10 years ago. It's actually been longer than that.
And my father had, when he was a kid, he had American Flyer.
Yep.
And so he gave me all those, which they're all made of metal.
Yep.
They're prior to the war, so World War II. So his are all metal. He gave those to me, and then as a Christmas present, or Santa. I'm sorry, Santa Claus got us a Lionel set for my brother and I, which was kind of tough to share. No, it's my turn.
But you have them now.
I do have them. He didn't. Yes,
Morning.
we do know that. Did you know that Funimation merged with Crunchyroll? Yes. Kind of.
Yes.
So now you're only here till 1 today, is that right?
The live stream stops at noon, and that's when I'm gonna start packing things up
And head over so you can do
and
your show
head
tonight.
back home.
Yeah. How long a ride is that? Because
It's about 5 hours.
New York, right? You
Yep.
said? Yeah.
It's about 5 hours, five and a half hours, depending on traffic, and
Yeah.
if I catch the boat to cross the lake, and
Yeah.
Oh my
All of
goodness.
that.
because we ferry across Lake Champlain, so
Wow.
drive.
Walk away.
Yeah, I'm about 45 minutes from the Canadian border
Wow.
in Plattsburgh, New York.
Wow.
I'm trying to think.
That's crazy.
My dad, a history buff, took us up that way, Lake Champlain. But you know, his vacation for us was Fort Ticonderoga,
That's a
Saratoga.
Saratoga is 2 hours south of us. Fort Ticonderoga, I think, is about an hour and a half south of us.
Yeah.
Same thing with Six Flags. That's up that way. Great Escape is like an hour and a half drive.
I don't know if those were there back then. 1974.
I'm sure Six Flags wasn't there then.
No.
I think Six Flags has only been there for maybe 20 plus years or so.
Yeah. Yeah, relatively new to the Northeast. This is great.
Yeah.
Nice to talk to you. Nice to see you again.
Yes.
After so
thank
many
you.
years.
And Casey, we met them at Anime Boston earlier this year.
No, it was
Or
years
ago.
back when you were in East Bridgewater.
Yes,
Talked to-
years ago when we were in East Bridgewater, we actually met them at Anime Boston. So it's really cool to reconnect years later at Animaine, and
Yes. It's all Greg's fault. It's a good thing.
It's a good fault,
It's a
though,
very
yeah.
good thing. He knows. I've been talking to him all weekend. So he knows I'm like, thank you. This is great.
I love coming to this con, and we were sad. 2017, we were sad we had to miss it. Our daughter was born 6 days before the con,
Oh my goodness.
and then we had some personal things pop up which prevented us from coming up. Otherwise, we would have been here with a 6-day-old.
We would have, had we known about these things.
It was
when we were little.
she was about a month old for her first con.
Aw.
And we missed 2019 because we moved from East Bridgewater to New York.
Right.
So financially, we couldn't do
Right.
any cons
Oh,
after that.
Right.
Then 2020 hit and everything shut down.
Right.
Right. So it makes it seem that much
So-
longer.
Last year, as soon as cons started coming back, even though it was quite the shit show, we went to Kineticon.
So was that
Oh.
That was at
21?
2021. Kineticon was like the first big con back.
Yeah.
And because they had 20 voice actors, and a lot of them I've had on the show but had never met. And they had voice actors that have been on my wish list to at least meet, like Caitlin Glass, Alexis Tipton,
Yep.
Yes.
and like Sunny Straight.
Yes.
Had never met them, had never had them on the show, had never had a chance to interact with them.
Oh my God.
So it's like, I'm gonna go. We got press, so they didn't do press interviews like they had done in the past because a whole new team, and things were still, trying to figure out the logistics of how do we do stuff. This year they didn't have press conferences either, which was disappointing. But
Huh.
they're still trying to work things out with new faces and stuff. So understandable. We cover the cons as best as we can when they don't have the press conferences. Anime Boston was crazy. We did 6 press conferences, but they kept moving around all weekend.
Yeah.
Like one we were supposed to have Sunday got moved with 2 other people on Friday.
We noticed that too. A lot of the stuff that was on the calendar
Yeah. It
changed.
kept flipping around.
Yeah.
Unless you have the digital calendar, if you have the
Yeah.
paper one, it's just different.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Just kept switching.
And then they had the late edition on Friday of adding Kaylee Mills to the
Yes.
guest list,
Yes.
which
Yes.
I was excited about that.
Yes. She was fun. We went to the D&D panel with her. It was a riot. I loved at the end. Her husband was like, he was a magic user, and all of a sudden he could use his magic all through the campaign. Well, however many, an hour. He didn't discover it until the end, and everybody's like,
You could always do
you
that.
could do that. Like I think it was Lauren Londo was like, what took you so long? She was great. She was like, really?
Sort of like Dorothy. You could always go home, Dorothy.
It was so funny.
And with Kaylee, we had met her years ago when she was simply just a YouTube singer
Right, you
at
said.
at a small con called Northeast Comic Con back when it was in Boxborough or in Wilmington, Mass. And so being able to follow her career and have her on, and I don't have it out anymore, but I actually found out that I have the song that I asked her to dub
No way.
on the memory stick.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, cool.
That's great.
And It got muted when
Right,
I
yep,
unplugged.
Oops. There you go. Nobody heard. Out there.
There's a special here.
Yeah, just so that we get it to
Yeah,
Lindsay.
Yeah.
I've got
I'll
it.
let her know.
Dad's got it.
Yeah, so now she's got it. Good.
We all have it.
We all have it.
Yeah.
And I have. Do you want Casey's?
Yeah. I can check her out.
And if you remember what year that we met, because Casey actually tabled Anime Boston 2016 and 2017. She had a table in Artist Alley. So it could have
Maybe
it
that's
could-
why she's familiar.
her, but at the time her name wasn't Casey Fox, it was Casey Creations.
It could. We could. Because we've 10 years. 2011 was our first year, so we've
Yeah.
been there.
And we've been to everyone after.
Everyone since.
So it's a good chance, and we may have talked because
Yeah.
as an artist, a lot of times she'll get commissions at the cons, and she'll be working. So I'm the booth babe, so to speak,
I love it.
and I keep an eye of the traffic that comes through.
Yeah.
And so it possibly could have been there.
Yeah.
2017,
Yeah.
2018. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, not 16.
Either
I know,
one,
I
we
know,
were there.
I know. One of the
Definitely.
years that we were there vending, we couldn't hear anything when the concert was going on because the concert was on the other side of that blue wall.
Oh,
Yep.
way back then.
Yep.
Even
Yep.
even though we were about 6 rows from that wall, all we heard was the bass. So
Yep.
anytime people would come up, it was like, what?
Right. Oh
And
God.
she cannot hear very well anyway. And so it's like,
Oh God, that must have been.
then when the
painful.
concert ended, we're sitting there and I see a woman come walking up to the table and I'm like, she looks familiar, but why would she be in Artist Alley right now? And I looked at the tag and it
She
said
was-
guest.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, hi, Jeremy. How are you? It's Jeremy Lee.
She's
Came
so
up to the
yes,
table
she's
and was
nice.
checking
I
everything
like
out
her.
at the
She
table.
is so sweet. I talked to her on Twitter.
And my wife was working on a commission, and all she heard was, hi, Jeremy. She's like, Jeremy Lee? Like, I thought she gave herself whiplash. Her head was so quick. And so we had a nice little conversation
she's
with her. She signed an autograph for us because as artists, they're 12-hour days at those tables.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you
we
guys
can't
don't
get
get to
out.
move.
And so the fact that the voice actors were checking out artists
Yeah.
and we were able to get an
Yeah.
autograph
Yeah.
was fantastic. And, thanked her for stopping by, and off she went. A couple minutes later, here comes Greg Ayers walking through.
Oh,
I was like, hi, Greg, how are you? And, of course, we've known Greg from here, Anime Boston, some of the other local cons that he's done in this area. So he came over and talked and signed a blank 5x7 card for us as well, which at some point she's going to be able to get back to those cards because she wanted to do art pieces
I
of the
think
characters
yeah,
for them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And she's
That's-
really
yeah.
good about trying to get art pieces of characters from the voice actors that we really like, especially if we're going to a con and we know they're going to be there.
Yeah.
The anime Killing Slimes for 300 years, and I maxed out my level. It's not reincarnated as a slime. People confuse those.
Right. No,
it's
I
a
heard the
different
difference.
show.
Right.
But Karina Boger voiced a character in that show that was a little demon. Like, it was a demon king, but it was like a little kid girl.
Yeah.
And it was a cute character. So my wife did an art piece because we went to a con that Karina was going to be at. And what we do is when we go to get autographs on stuff that she's done, we'll print out 2 copies.
Yes.
One to give to the voice actor and one to have signed.
Yep.
And
Makes
Karina
sense.
was very nice and surprised about it. And, knowing the voice actors, understanding the industry, when we do stuff like that, I'm ready to pay full price. And she refused any payment, which is like, no, I know you make money at this. Susie Young was the same way. She was going to give us a free one. And I was like, I know this is how you make your money. I'm not looking for stuff for free. She actually reduced the price. She's like, okay, instead of 40, how about 20? That way,
Richard
you're still
and Ellen
Yeah.
did that with you.
Richard Epgar and Ellen Stern. I've been talking to them. Richard
And I
got
love-
on my.
I love all the
he got
characters he's ever voiced anyway.
Yeah.
He's. They're lovely. Richard had gotten on my Instagram, and it's all our pets. So it was like he was liking all my pictures of our cat Sylvester, and food pictures. So we would go back and forth, and then Ellen and I became friends on Facebook, and I talked to her about different things, and it was so funny. We stood in line. We were like the third person in line, and God, the person in front of us like had this wheelie of stuff they wanted signed by Richard, and they were totally ignoring poor Ellen. She's like, I was in Bleach, I can sign that, and they're like totally ignoring her. And we get up to the table, and I'm like, hi Ellen, hi Richard. And she looks at me, and she's like, what's your name? And I tell her, and they both came out around the table, gave us hugs and loves, and like Ellen and I are like two old ladies like this, chit chatting, and David and Richard are just like, and then they were like, they got their PA to just do a picture on our cell phone. It was so sweet. They're
Yeah.
just the kindest, nicest people.
A lot of the voice actors are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
and they have a
human
genuine
beings too. They're people.
Yeah,
Just like us.
and Casey was mentioning that actually happened last year at Kineticon, because we had Jeremy Inman on the show a couple of times, had never met him. When we walked up to the table, and I was like, "Hi, Jeremy, and, you've been a guest on my show. I'm Doug Engler, Animaine Radio." He's like, "Oh my God, it's great to meet you," and big, not so much hug because still COVID time, but really genuinely excited. And it's the weirdest feeling when you're in a long autograph line and the voice actor knows you and they get excited to meet you. And the people behind are like, who's this person? They look at you like, who the hell are you?
Oh my goodness.
How do they know you?
It was so sweet. It was so sweet. It was
But you are.
so
And
cute.
I wouldn't call myself famous, but
Well, you've got a computer and a camera. That's good enough.
And a mic.
And
a mic, yeah.
And the funny part was he had Kimberly Grace with him, who's his girlfriend. Kimberly is also a voice actress. She wasn't an actual guest at the con, but we knew her work. So when we got to meet her, she did a quick little video soundbite for us. Yeah. And then Casey and I were talking. It's like, we want to go back to the table on the next day. So the next morning when Jeremy was there, we're like, "Morning, Jeremy. Is Kimberly around? We want to get her autograph too." We're not here for you. We're here for her.
Yeah.
Which he kind of laughed at. He's like, "No, she won't be down at the table until later." So apparently he had talked her into bringing prints of some of her characters.
Oh, love it.
So when we went back later, he's like, "Sign both of those for them for the price of one."
Oh, that's great.
And Jeremy was a part of one of our greatest Christmas specials we've ever had on the show, because it was originally scheduled to be Anthony Bowling and Jeremy Inman, because they are really good friends and they like to pick on each other horribly.
Makes a great show.
They failed to give me important information for that show. I called Anthony first, because this was back in the day of Blog Talk where we had to actually call their phones.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call. All right, let me call Jeremy." He goes, "Oh, you don't have to bother. He's right here." By the way, we're at a Christmas party with a bunch of voice actors. I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?" He's like, "We wanted this to be a way of thanking your fans."
Oh, no.
And Jeremy goes, started the interview with them. Jeremy goes, "I'll be right back. I'm going to get a drink." He comes back with Tia Ballard.
Oh.
And then he does it again, comes back with Terry Doty.
Oh, yep.
And then we get Stephen Fu. And then we get another one. And then Tia comes back on.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't realize, at the time that he brought Terry Doty on, I didn't realize it was her until after the show.
Oh, no.
When Anthony sent me the list of who came on the show.
Oh, no.
Because when Terry came on the show, she was like, "Are you guys bugging my friend Doug?" Because we'd had Terry on the show multiple times, including promoting her book.
Right? Yes. Yep.
And so when she's like, "Are you guys bugging my good friend Doug?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so cool and so weird." It's like these people are amazing people that I look up to, and it feels weird being like I know them.
Yep. Absolutely. I know. Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't know about Eric Vale, like him breaking his ankles.
Yeah.
The first time we had Eric Vale on the show, it was his birthday.
Yep.
And he was grilling.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I like it.
He is fun.
He was a fantastic
fun.
guest, a lot of fun to talk to.
His
Great
wife
to meet him.
is the best. I've gotten to know.
We watch their stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
What is it?
It is. Hold on. Folding chairs.
Folding Chairs is their group.
I forget the full name. Oh.
But they do the announcements at a fake high
Oh,
school.
his wife
And
is
she is
Mrs.
hilarious.
McGillicuddy.
Sometimes it's a comedy routine, so sometimes she'll say, and today we're going to have a special, and someone will hand her a slip of paper and she'll just read whatever
totally
it is.
improv. She has no idea what she's reading, and just you can see the look on her face of pain and ire. And what are you doing to me? Hold on. No, that's Mrs. McGillicuddy.
Mrs. McGillicuddy.
And she is a riot. Let me just see. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, they tried to assign me a security
Take up your
station, even though
time,
I'm
either,
wandering
so you
up and
gotta
down the
get
halls
going.
all weekend. And they're like, yeah,
Or
when you
come
get time to
keep
set up
talking.
there. So I'm like,
We could talk for hours, I'm sure.
Yeah, I
This
know.
is
I know.
true.
It's kind of a neat format. I never, like at Anime Boston, I'm assuming this happens there too. But I've never noticed it.
I've never done this at Anime Boston.
Has
Not that I know of.
So this is unique, and it
This-
should be done.
As far as I know personally, I've never seen, like, I've seen podcasters and other anime radio stuff set up, but it's interview formats with just audio. They might have the computer set up, but they have their audio equipment, a couple of microphones, so that they can
And they're
interviewing attendees, guests, things of that nature.
This I like. I think this is nice.
Right now, I think this is something exclusively to Animating Radio, where we actually video.
Folding Chairs Comedy Troupe.
Oh,
Catch
that's
this.
cool.
That's Eric Vale, his wife. Who else? There's other voice actors. His son.
Down in Texas, right? Yeah.
Yep.
But and I'm hoping that this catches on, or at least that cons get wind of, we promote you. We showcase what's going on at the event.
Right.
And maybe that will be more apt for cons to reach out to us and want us to be there to showcase what's going on, especially where we have a worldwide audience on YouTube.
And it's actually for them, at least right now, free advertising.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you're mentioning, well, next year's Animaine is going to be, November, whatever. Want to see you guys there. Come on, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And throughout the live streams, we are here live at Animaine. This is day 3. Come on out. It's your last chance to check out the artists. Yesterday, I actually, with the phone, walked around and showcased every vendor and every artist.
Nice.
Of course, I asked permission before showing anything.
Right.
Because there are some people who don't want to be on camera, and some of the artists would duck out, and you just showcase the stuff. But I made sure to get, promote social media that they were on, where people could find the stuff, comment about the stuff. Some of the artists promoted themselves, which we encourage.
Yeah.
And this is something you can't get outside of a con.
Right.
And this is something I don't know other shows that do that.
Yeah, no, it's very appropriate and a good opportunity for them for you.
So maybe down the road, other cons will catch wind of this, and maybe we'll start guesting at cons, which would be an amazing experience. That's been one of my dreams, was to be a guest at a con. Even though we're small, we offer something that a lot of other guests don't.
Right.
I mean, obviously, a voice actor would be a bigger draw than a small podcast, but the podcast gives you more promotions.
Right.
Granted, we don't have the huge following of an Eric Vale or some of the bigger voice actors, but
someday.
we're still growing on YouTube.
Got a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Somebody to take over.
I got 2 co-hosts that won't let the show die. So
there you go.
There you go.
Good,
It's all planned out perfectly.
Have a good one, Casey. Just got to go feed the gremlin.
Bye.
Bye.
Lunchtime.
Good luck.
Good luck with the
Don't
gremlin.
get bitten by the gremlin.
So yeah, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for
it's
the great
brought my
conversation.
life, just lots
Yeah.
to do, so.
And if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Just find me on YouTube or find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is the easiest way that.
It'll be through me. He's not on social media.
Not a problem.
I'm the social maven.
I don't.
I will be 100% honest. If it wasn't for this, I would give up all social media.
Yeah.
And I would probably get rid of the cell phones and stuff too, because I'm very much a hermit.
See?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being a hermit.
I'm
But it's nice to meet people.
Hey,
Point taken.
the fun part of doing something like this is so outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I forced myself to do this, but the experiences that I've had are worth the uncomfortableness when I first started.
Thank you. I was going to say, and the reward is because I have two antisocial individuals in my household, and it's tiring to be the mouthpiece.
No, it's not. You like to talk.
No, I like to go to my room and pass out too. I like to be a turtle sometimes.
And with your art,
Yes,
once
thank
you
you.
get comfortable enough with your art, I do recommend looking into tabling.
Yes.
To experience a whole different side of these conventions, when you're sitting on the backside of the table for hours, you get a whole new appreciation for Artist Alley. You get a whole new appreciation for what it's like to sit and talk with people. You also make some really, really great connections. And as an artist, talk to every artist you can about advice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually follow an artist that I found on YouTube, then on Instagram, and then I met him at a con because we messaged each other. Sao Shin.
Yep.
Don't know that one.
He's called Eric Proctor. I know he's done some like illustrations for like zoos and stuff, but he does his own art too.
I would also suggest, like, if you can get out to multiple conventions, go to Comic Cons. Go to not just anime cons, but go to some Comic Cons because you're going to meet a lot of fantastic artists there.
Yeah.
One of our best friends from the art world, Rusty Gilligan, who's done work for Walking Dead. He's done work for DC and Marvel. He's got his own comics that he does. He's no longer traveling the convention scene for health reasons, but he's the guy who married my wife and I at a convention.
Oh,
We got married at a Comic-Con, dressed as Pokemon by a comic artist.
All right, which Pokemon?
I was a shiny Umbreon. My wife was a Sylveon. Hence, our daughter's name is Eevee.
Oh,
It's EVIE. But when we were coming up with her name, it was like I wanted to give her a name that she could understand growing up, that she could really evolve into whatever she wanted to. And Eevee can evolve into 8 different things. So it really shows that. So it really shows that you can be whatever you want to be as you grow up, and that's something we want her to understand.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
You're smart too.
You are our kind of people. This is
I always laugh because I tell people we have the nerdiest love story because we met because of Pokemon. She had made 2 full fursuits for her ex-husband and her younger brother. We met at Bakuretsu-Con because of those. Fell in love playing Minecraft and Skyping because I was in Cape Cod and she was in Plattsburgh.
Yeah.
Got married as Pokemon at a Comic-Con.
I love it.
We were even photobombed by Barry Boswick for our wedding photo.
No.
And our reception was the after party. Musical guest Mickey Dolenz. My first concert was the Monkees reunion tour in the 80s.
Oh my God. Wow.
And when we had talked with Gary Summers, who was the owner of Northeast Comic Con, he didn't have a guest list set up. So he had no idea I was a huge Monkees fan. And I had no idea who was going to be a guest at the con.
Goodness. That's crazy.
And he sang 3 songs. So it's like I can honestly say I had Mickey Dolenz sing at my reception.
Yeah.
Photobombed by Barry Boswick. One of the other guests that was there, I don't remember her name because I really didn't watch the show much, but she was one of the sisters on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She had the table next to the cosplay stage where we got married.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. That's amazing.
So it's been quite
One
the
heck of a
interesting
ride.
It is.
Stay on it.
And then getting to meet people and much like yourselves and the voice actors and the vendors and stuff, and we've had tons of artists and comic creators. One artist to look into, her name is Karen Goslin. She's out of New Hampshire.
Oh, God. I was gonna
Her
say-
art, I think we have like
Oh, good. Thank
12 pieces of her art in our house.
you. Thank you. I was like, I had to blow out my nose.
Yep. Fluffy paper, bad.
No,
I
I was
left
just
mine.
gonna text her.
I left mine in book.
She
I mean, in the
she
suitcase.
still learns how to do art. She's gone to like art seminars and things like that. She's an amazingly talented artist as well. Definitely reach out to her. She's one of the mentors for my wife.
Yes, Kat needs a mentor, and we've
So,
been looking.
and reach out
yes.
to my wife if you have questions as well. So reach out to Casey and talk with her if you have questions about artwork and if you're struggling with stuff, because I know Casey would be happy to help.
Well,
It's a good
Wolfkin is
community. That's awesome.
Wolfkin is her name is Kat, K-A-T, Kat Fenn.
So, and like I said, the crazy thing about Artist Alley, a lot of people think you're competing against every other artist. You're gonna have,
It's a community.
in all honesty, you're not competing against anybody but yourself.
Right, right.
Because everybody here, like when we vend for Casey Fox, we make a tour of Artist Alley before or after we get set up because we
Right.
want to see what everybody else has because she doesn't have everything.
Right.
But if we have somebody come up to the table and go, do you have anything from My Hero Academia? We don't, but the table back there does.
Nice. Right. Right.
So go check
Right.
out their stuff. We saw up there, over there, and if you can point them in the right direction.
Right.
We've had people who were very so appreciative that they may not have bought anything from us originally, but they went, found what they wanted, then came back to our table
Yep.
and bought something
Yep.
because
Yes.
they were kind of surprised of, no, kids keep going, but we help them find what they want.
Mhm,
And people are appreciative of that.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to talk to other artists. And if you have a portfolio with you, if you bring your drawings with you, some artists will be there and be like, I like what you did here. This is how you can change it, and they'll give you constructive criticism on how to improve.
Mhm.
It's very rare that you will find an artist who will be rude and be like, your stuff is crap. I've never,
Right.
in all
I
honesty,
can't imagine that.
in all honesty, I don't think I've ever heard an artist say that. We've had people walk up to the table and be like, I don't like your stuff. And then
No.
they'll sit there and talk for 20 minutes.
I don't like your stuff, but
And it's like, well, if you don't like the stuff, why are you still here?
Yeah,
Like,
what's the deal?
like very rudely. It's like, okay, whatever.
That's
Hello, welcome to Animating Radio.
I have to ask.
Oh, I don't know the camera.
Now, in my head, I went arcane, but it is. Oh
Yay!
my god!
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I love this. This is the colors gave it away, but then I saw this. I said, it's got to be, but I don't know everything, so I had to ask. Awesome, you are just like her. Oh man, that was so good. Oh, now okay, complimenting her in your next.
No, this is kind of like a weird ensemble here.
It's a weird ensemble.
Inspired by Emma Verde.
Ah,
Yes.
nice. Nope, I like it. So I'm guessing I'm so that's right, because a lot of times I'll say something and go, not even close. And I'm like, well, I don't
It is just about that time that we've got to cut off the stream. But thank you to everybody who tuned in during the live streams this weekend. Don't forget to join us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern when we welcome Kelly Baskin, the voice of Amber from Genshin Impact. You don't want to miss that show. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely tune in to Animating Radio live tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and Twitch.
And I just love the younger sisters.